Hello, crypto people. This is Joey here from the Chart Guys. I've been trading full time for 7 years. Joined the Chart Guys 6 years ago as a member, and now I'm here to talk about some crypto. We've got a big old green day out there on Bitcoin as all-time highs creep into play. So let's see exactly how far we are from the highs at this point. 2.18% away from all-time highs. We're up 5.43% on the day. And, as I've been saying every stream for a long time now, won't be shocking to see a 6-month lower high. At this point, it would be shocking to see a 6-month lower high because we're only 2% away. So it's been nice to have a good guide with that there's no way that's shaping up if we don't lose the weekly 12 EMA. That stayed intact and kept us on the right side of things. So let's break down the short-term action of what we've got going on as Bitcoin's up within a stone's throw of all-time highs. We've got a nice little example of the zoom out game here. So let's see, a few hours ago, I guess 4 hours ago at this point, we had Bitcoin riding the 5-minute 12 EMA. Then once you lose the 5-minute 12 EMA, you zoom out to the 15-minute 12 EMA. And lo and behold, that acted as support, got us another leg up. Now we've lost the 15-minute 12 EMA, and we're zooming out to the hourly 12 EMA. And if we look here, since Sunday morning, the hourly 12 EMA has been acting as support. So if bulls are holding the hourly 12 EMA, they maintain tight control here up as we knock up on all-time highs. If that's lost, then we're zooming out to the 4-hour 12 EMA, which has been acting as support for a good while here. And then when that's lost, we'll zoom out to the daily 12 EMA, which has been acting as support even longer. So y'all start to see here now why the 12 EMA is pretty gangster, and it really gives nice structure. We've got our trends, our higher lows, and our higher highs, but with how kind of fluid the market can be, it's helpful to have a little bit more of a fluid guide for who's in control, who's not in control. And this is the beauty of being in uptrends, because even if we reject from all-time high initially, which, to be honest, bulls would prefer that, because if we just go right up through to new all-time highs from here, I would bet that it would be difficult to see follow through personally, and I will be betting on that. Of course, with risk managed and whatnot, but as a trader, it's kind of the environment where it's not conducive for follow through. When you've got extended RSI levels getting through a key break, it's just not the environment conducive for follow through. But we'll just go one step at a time. And even if we were to reject, even if we were to get new highs without follow through, bears aren't going anywhere without taking out each trend, each EMA step by step. And at this point, bulls have uptrends on all time frames. So that is what that is. So let's see here. I've got an alert set for the hourly 12 EMA. I'm probably going to make a play off of that if we get down to it and see if we can't get some nice move to the upside. So anything over 64,533 going to be an hourly higher low on this consolidation. And it's worth noting here that this is definitely the Bitcoin show. We've got I got a cat walking across the desk. I don't know if you saw the tail just go there, but it's the Bitcoin show. We got Bitcoin dominance bouncing. Let's get back to the daily here. And that shows us that Bitcoin is seeing the bulk of the upside here. The exception to it is our meme coins going absolutely bonkers. No pun intended there. But yeah, meme coins are ripping today, and then a few laggards. But beyond that, like our blue sky bull list, they're all getting pretty hit here. So it is the Bitcoin show. We did get a nice alt weekend. If you remember from the last stream on Friday, the talk was, hopefully Bitcoin goes, or not hopefully, but the ideal situation for crypto bulls and active traders in the space would be Bitcoin going sideways, staying healthy, Bitcoin dominance dropping, and then alts popping with that. And we did get that, but Bitcoin dominance going back up, telling us that Big Daddy is taking the wheel, and we'll have to see where we go from here. Let me see. I'm going to let my cat out real quick before he gets antsy. I'll go outside, sweet potato. Have fun. So let's talk about the miners real quick, because I know a lot of people are like, well, what the heck? Bitcoin is seeing a big old move up, and the miners, Riot and Mara, are getting smoked. What's up with that? And I really think it's that they've had relative weakness, and that just draws in traders. And I know in the chart guys, and maybe people aren't going to want to hear this, but we're traders here. So both Dan and myself this morning shorted Riot because look at how relatively weak it is. If we look at the highs here from December 28th, and then you compare that to Bitcoin, December 28th, where are we? Back here. Bitcoin is way beyond where these miners are. That's relative weakness, and that draws in traders, because if you want to kind of hedge out or get any short exposure, what do you want to do? Go fight the biggest bully in the schoolyard, as Lori would say it, and short Bitcoin itself? Or do you want to pick on the weakling with the broken leg or whatever? So that's Riot and that's Mara, and people are going to continue to do it as long as it continues to work. So, and along with that, you've got the narrative of these miners were a nice proxy for people to be able to get exposure and stock accounts to crypto stuff. But now we got a Bitcoin ETF. So like, talking about buying this hourly 12 EMA, if we get down there, in the past, I would be trying to play a bounce on Mara or something like that. But now I'm going to be trying to play the bounce on IBIT. So there's a shift underway, and the charts are showing that big time. The charts are showing that big time, and probably the most I've seen it today, because let's see, we'll go to the 5 minute. Bitcoin was looking like it had a potential head and shoulders here, and that's when the Riot Topfish came into play up here, and Riot has just dumped. It is just dumped while Bitcoin has continued up. So it just got to call it how it is. Got to not get married to narratives or anything like that, because the miners are weak. The miners are weak, and as long as people are not getting punished shorting them, then they're going to continue to do that. So if you've got a bunch of Bitcoin and you're looking to hedge some stuff out, like, why wouldn't you pick on the weakling? And that's what I really think it is. I think it's a bunch of traders ganging up on the weaklings. So let's see, let's move through the list. Ethereum getting a little pop here, huh? That is a fat finger. Let's see if it's on other exchanges. See if it's on other exchanges. Nope, it's not. It's a Coinbase fat finger. Go figure. Go figure. So we'll look at Binance for this actually right now. And ETH, I bet y'all can guess what I'm going to say. It's going to be the same thing. 12-hour, 12 EMA, multiple weeks. That's been our guide now. And it continues to be the guide. So as far as resistances overhead, we are now testing 35, is that right? Yeah, 35.80. And we've popped it by 20 bucks. So next resistance up here is going to be 41.50. So a little bit of lack of resistance overhead. And what ETH USD bulls want to see is ETH BTC defend these lows. We know we're looking for a tightening range here, and very often when you see a flag confirm without follow through, that gives the indication that a pivot on a larger time frame is incoming. So we've now confirmed a daily bear flag. It doesn't have follow through at the moment, but there's more work for bulls to do for us to say that it's a bear flag without follow through. And really what that is they got to get a daily bounce underway from here. So it's looking like bulls are trying to shape up this higher low. And if ETH BTC sees a nice leg up, then that will be rotation into ETH USD. So let's go into the shorter time frames on ETH USD. Looks like hourly 12 EMA acting as support. Last time it was tested, we weren't riding it by any means. So there wasn't really an indication that like, oh, this is an hourly 12 EMA to buy, but that's what happened. And we're seeing continuation to new highs here. So let's see, LTC rejecting just below historic daily overbought levels. We're talking about that. No, I guess not last stream. That was the weekend video for the chart guys. So this all-time, or this RSI level that we're rejecting from is all the way back from 2017. And bears trying to get some daily consolidation underway here. And this brings up another important thing to talk about. We talked about it last stream as well, is this dash to trash? We know that in previous cycles, a lot of times the bull cycle ends with an LTC pump and your shittiest shit coins pumping, and we're getting that with LTC pumping and the meme coins just going freaking insane. So as the sentiment was last stream, could this be dash to trash? Absolutely. Does anybody know? No. What do we do with it? We enjoy the trends while we've got them. So that's, you know, there's too much opportunity here to be trying to play like the party wrecker or something like that. Like if you see this as dash to trash, which I do potentially, or how would I say how I see this? Like I see this as a scenario that it would not be shocking at all to look back in a few months and be like, oh, what do you know? The LTC and meme coin pump ended up marking the end of that cycle. I wouldn't be surprised at all, but am I shorting all of this stuff right now, looking to like nail tops and get the dash to trash narrative to follow through? No, absolutely not. So looking at SHIB here, 44% on the day, absolutely beasting, and very clear 4-hour 12 EMA support. Certainly looking like a bit of a short-term climax here, but next time we consolidate on the 4-hour, anything over 2136 can be a 4-hour higher low. If bulls are holding 4-hour 12 EMA, bears aren't going anywhere. Let's look at bonk, or let's zoom into SHIB, see if it is looking like a, yeah, definitely a little short-term volume climax. Bears would need to confirm a 15-minute downtrend if we're going to shape up any 4-hour consolidation from here. And bulls trying to hold hourly 12 EMA. So is it dash to trash? It's the fixings for it, but is the outcome going to be the standard dash to trash outcome? Who knows? If it is, we'll see Bitcoin lose its uptrends. It's trading can be complicated, but we can make it simple. We can make it simple by if-then statements and saying, if Bitcoin's holding weekly 12 EMA, then no notable consolidation is shaping on up. If Bitcoin is holding daily 12 EMA, then no weekly consolidation is shaping up. If Bitcoin's holding 4-hour 12 EMA, then no daily consolidation is shaping up. If Bitcoin's holding hourly 12 EMA, then no 4-hour consolidation is shaping up. And then you slot within that based on how aggressive or conservative you want to be. If you want to be aggressive, then you're buying this hourly 12 EMA. If you want to be more conservative, you're waiting for another 4-hour 12 EMA test. More conservative, waiting for a daily 12 EMA test. And the most conservative are just waiting for the next weekly higher low. And to note, I said, there's not going to be any notable pullback without losing the weekly 12 EMA. The pullback to the weekly 12 EMA at this point is 25% from current prices. So next time we consolidate on the weekly, if you're not positioned for that and protected against that or mentally prepared to ride that drawdown, then it's not going to be fun. If you're using leverage up here, you got to make sure you're protecting yourself, because despite how it feels right now, we will consolidate again on the weekly. We will consolidate again on the monthly. Absolutely no sign of it, but consolidation is part of a healthy chart. And that's why I said that Bitcoin bulls would like a rejection here, because if we go up right through all-time highs, then I think there will be a lot of traders looking for a bull break without follow-through and then to come back down. If we reject from here, then that has bears saying, aha, no one's going any further. No all-time highs for you. More bears are going to pile in. And then if we just see healthy weekly consolidation or monthly consolidation even, that will have bears thinking that they've done their job. And then you set a healthy monthly higher low or a healthy weekly higher low. And then you go back through all-time highs with cooler RSI levels, and you stop out all the bears. You bring in fresh short-term trading bulls, and you continue. But if you go up and break all-time highs with weekly overbought, with monthly overbought, with daily overbought, 4-hour, the whole kit and caboodle, then it's a recipe for a difficult environment to see follow through. Doesn't mean that marks a generational top or something like that, but you never want to break resistance without follow through. We can look back to 2021, V-shaping off of a pretty deep pullback. It's 55% pullback right back to the highs, no follow through. No follow through, and we can look at the environment that we were in. Weekly overbought. I don't know that we were daily overbought for it though. No, we were daily overbought as well. So daily, weekly overbought, V-shaping back to new highs, tough to see follow through. So not making any predictions by any means, but just identifying what would the environment be like if we did get all-time highs right now? Because obviously there will be a lot to celebrate. Everybody here loves Bitcoin. We want to see it go to all-time highs. We want to see it go to 1 million. So getting back to new all-time highs after getting smoked down to 15K, super exciting. But you know, if you're just a long-term holder, then you're chilling and you're on the ride either way. But if you're an active trader, it could be some opportunity or some reason to be cautious. Walk up some stops and this and that. So that was a bit of a sidetrack there. Let's keep going through the list. So we did Litecoin. We didn't do the shorter time frames on Litecoin though. What do we have? Do we have an EMA that we're riding? 8-hour 12 EMA. So that's going to need to be taken out to get some daily consolidation underway, just a daily stair step. Hourly oversold conditions. Bull's going to want to see that mark. A daily higher low. This actually probably hit on the wick, huh? Nope, just below it. So hourly oversold right now would be right about that low. So best case look for bulls would be to buy that up. But what Litecoin needs to see if it's going to keep the show on the road and not just be a dash to trash narrative is you got to see LTC, BTC come to life. We're down at all-time lows and we had a nice move. We had daily 12 EMA acting as resistance for a while. Nice move up, but hard to give them back more than bulls want to see because you need the uptrend. You need the uptrend, and at this point, once you retrace more than 50%, I guess we're just past it now. Yeah, just past the 50% retrace. So once you do that, odds increase that a lower highs than most likely on the next bounce. Doesn't mean that you can't still pull it off, but it's a lot more difficult because you have a lot more distance to travel. So very nice few days for LTC, but it's got the relative weakness today as this ratio chart comes on down. Take a look at Sol, and we'll spend most of the time today doing requests. I won't run through the full spiel like we do every other video just because, you know, in these times with all the volatility and whatnot, I know y'all probably care about what you're watching more so than what I'm watching. So Sol just kind of chilling at the highs, daily higher low set. Bulls are in control as long as what did I do? As long as 124.17 is acting as support. And maybe we have an EQ. Nah, pretty choppy up here. Pretty choppy. I think the 12 hours decent. You know, that higher low is still the same support there, but we now have a lower high at 134.95. Then the highs of the move 137.80. What else we got? I mean, let's go through the weekly lower high list. They're almost all knocked off at this point. So it's kind of cool to see with like weekly lower highs being overwhelmingly the most likely scenario on every name on this list. And then as soon as Bitcoin went to weekly higher highs, meaning like, oh, odds may shift for other coins. Then ETH goes to higher highs. We say, okay, you know, the more coins that go to higher highs on the weekly when a lower high was the most likely scenario, that increases the odds that others will do the same. And then Theta did it. And now we've just been watching them one by one get knocked off here. So Matic to new weekly highs. Next resistance going to be 119. And I'm still cautious on Matic because this is a textbook equilibrium and it would not be surprising to see a lower high compared to 156.81. A lot of that will probably depend on what Bitcoin does and on what Bitcoin dominance does, because if we get a 6-month lower high on Bitcoin dominance, you know, that's an alt season coming in. That's what bulls would hope happens, because there's two ways it can play out. If you got Bitcoin dominance going down, that can mean that alts are going up more than BTC, and that's your alt season, or it can mean Bitcoin is getting smoked off harder than the alts. So watching out for it. No signs of it yet, but if that happens, then, you know, Matic USD is probably positioned well to break that quarterly equilibrium to the upside. So going back to Matic here, we were able to stay on the right side of this despite the weekly lower high being the most likely scenario. We had 1, our correlational clues of other coins going to higher highs, and then 2, our smaller nested time frame trend, which was just the daily. And as we've been saying for a while now, not gonna get a weekly lower high without losing the daily 12 EMA, and that just continues to ride it. So bulls will be looking for daily 12 EMA buys next time that tests. looking at ASX to weekly higher highs as well. ETC did get the weekly lower high, but very quickly turned it around. Now back to higher highs here. Let's see, AAVE, the only one left, I think. Or no, we've got GMT. That's kind of doing its own thing though. ETC, Atom, back to weekly higher highs. GMT did get the weekly lower high, but kept the weekly uptrend intact. Still cautious of a 2-week lower high here, but we'll just go step by step. Pretty sharp pullbacks there, huh? Pretty heavy pullbacks. I mean, strong bounces, but that's intense. Holy cow. No 20% 2-hour pullback. Let's see, ADA went to higher highs. Kept daily uptrend. Bears tried to get the downtrend confirmed here. Bulls defend to support. Get back right in the 12 EMA and continuing on to new highs. So daily higher low support at 68.50 on ADA. And let's see if that was an hourly back burner. See if that was an hourly back burner. It was. Look at that. Dinged it right to new highs. So that's what bulls want to see. And this brings up another note. As we come up on all-time highs, euphoria is high, opportunity is high. How do you capitalize on it? You're hitting back burners. Back burners are the name of the game right now. If you remember from the last stream, Ryan said back burner week ahead, and that's what we've had here. So if you don't know what the back burner is, go on to the Chart Guys website, go to the search function, type in back burner, hit enter, and you'll get all the information about the back burner. And this goes for anything. This new website that Toby made for us, the search function is sweet. You can type in anything and it pulls through all of our content across YouTube, across the channel itself, or the website itself through Slack. So definitely utilize that. But back burners is the name of the game right now. And once back burners start failing, that's when we have to say, okay, something's different here. But as long as back burners are hitting, as long as we're seeing rotation, then bulls are chilling. So let's see, Phil, we've been talking about, because it's another long-term baser. We've got a handful of charts that have this long-term basing pattern. The first to go was Link, had this basing pattern. Then we had Jasmy, had this basing pattern, got big time follow through. Then we had Doge, watching for it, basing pattern, bull break, big time follow through. SHIB, not as clean, but still a basing pattern, big time follow through. And Phil is on watch for the same thing. Got through our first resistance at 950. It's all about 1139 now at this point. And let's zoom in, see what bulls are doing here. So daily 12 EMA going to be the guide, hourly back burner on watch. And just to kind of reiterate how you can use other coins for clues. When we talked about Doge on the stream, when was it? It was either this Wednesday, the 24th, or maybe this Monday, the 26th. But it was right before this came, and it was the whole notion of that was, if we continue to see a healthy space, we'll continue to see rotation. And if we continue to see rotation, these junkers and meme coins are going to get their move. And it was right on cue. And at this point, from our last daily high or low, we're up over 100%. But it's not because I have a magic 8-ball or something that I'm looking at. It's looking at the patterns that you see on other charts, and then you see them break, and then you see a similar pattern on a different chart. That's a clue. That's a way to increase your edge in trading. And it's played out really nicely here on Doge. And to talk more about back burners, pretty big pullback the other day over the weekend. That was Sunday in the middle of the night. Turn on our back burner or our RSI projector tool, nailed the back burner. And now at this point, we are up 50% from the hourly back burner. It's exactly what bulls want to see. And you might be looking at that and saying, like, wow, that looks easy. You know, there's nothing easy about trading, but in terms of straightforward stuff, the back burner and the EMA riders are about as straightforward as it gets. And this is the environment where those things are super valuable to us as traders. So you love to see it, and it will work until it doesn't. When it stops working, you got to make sure that you don't get wrecked and lose all your profits off of one rogue trade, because it's super easy to get complacent in this environment when everything's just going up and even the deep pullbacks are getting snapped up to new highs. It can make you say like, oh, well, I'm not going to stop out, or yada, yada, yada. Well, you know, what happened to the people that got fast and loose at the last Bitcoin all-time high? You know, it didn't work well for them. You know, now they're okay, but after what, a couple years of waiting? So you'd never want to get complacent. If you feel yourself getting complacent, then, you know, probably implement a rule. One thing that I've done in my trading that has helped my bottom line significantly is I had this awful pattern of like, I would trade really, really well for 2 months, 3 months, very few losses, account just going straight up, and then I'd get cocky, overconfident, and then I would nuke off like 25% of the profits of the last 2 or 3 months in a single trade. And that was just like my cycle that I would go through. And obviously it's frustrating to go through that. And what I ended up doing that helped fix that problem was, once I start feeling like I'm unstoppable or I'm on an absolute roll, I just tighten up my daily max loss, so that that first loss off of the streak is not a multi-week or month loser. It's just a day loser. And it's wild how simple adjustments and simple rules like that can keep us in line, because we know how emotional the game is and how psychologically challenging the game is. So it's good to have mechanical parameters that can step into play and protect us when our human sides are coming out. You know, we obviously all want to trade like a robot, but it's way easier said than done. And you might be able to trade like a robot 80% of the time or 90% of the time, but that 10% of the time that you're not, and you're trading like a human because you are a human, you know, you can really wreck things that way. So if you have mechanical parameters in place, to, whether it be number of trades per day or daily max loss or types of trades that you're going to take, or, you know, being in a certain trend to go a certain direction, you know, no counter trend, whatever. Everybody's rules are going to be different, but we've got to have rules, and it can be helpful to write them down on a piece of paper. You know, I've got little stuff, little notes and whatnot that when I need them, I pull them out and I put them on my desk, so it's staring me in the face, so that I am thinking clearly. It pulls you out of your own mind. So let's see. Let's get back on track. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm looking at here. We'll go through requests and see what else gets brought on up. But backburners on watch. Once things start failing backburners, then you need to be a little bit cautious. But pretty much everything's looking for higher lows on one time frame or another at this point. Looking for higher lows on one time frame or another. Jahanzib, nice to see you. I am in excellent health, and I'm super grateful for that. I hope the same for you, my friend. What up, Carlos? Let's see, Carlos actually requested a ticker in the chart guys room for the stream. Let me go get that. Looking at hot USDT. Sounds like a crypto, oh, clicked the wrong thing. Sounds like a crypto radio station or something. Is that right? Hot USDT. All right. So we are, you know, kind of in that structure of AR, where we're still quite a ways from the highs here. Let me see if that is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, very similar to AR, or Grok, I think is a similar. No, Grok is new. Who else? We won't waste time on it. We're back to hot. So hot is monthly stair step up. Next resistance is going to be 73.37, and we are part of the weekly lower high crew that went to higher highs, had the increasing bull volume, which is part of the clues of that, and now we're riding daily 12 EMA. So I reckon we have another We're probably riding 4-hour 12 EMA as well on this last move up the past few days, but daily 12 EMA, hourly back burner going to be the next watch. And yeah, we've got 4-hour 12 EMA that we are riding in the shorter term. Higher highs not getting a ton of follow through here. Maybe daily consolidation is due, but if that's going to shape up, bear's got to take out the daily stair step. And let's see where hourly oversold would be. Well, that's quite the pop there. That's just one, yeah. It's like an hour of upside and then giving it all back. So let's see where hourly oversold would be. Might be one of those hourly oversold and 12-hour 12 EMAs aligning. A lot of these daily 12 EMAs are too far away. Hourly oversold. So marking up hourly oversold. And no, it will be a daily 12 EMA. So hourly oversold, daily 12 EMA, that's the confluence you like to see. If that acts as support, then bulls are chilling and in full control. As far as smaller time frame structure up here, not a lot of clarity. Not a lot of clarity. We can be watching the 4-hour uptrend. 4-hour uptrend in the low of this candle, 39.16 is the key short-term support in that 4-hour uptrend. Let's see what else we got in here. ERG USD for Aries Rock. ERG USD. I guess we'll look at it on KuCoin. Yeah, we got plenty of history here. So another one, weekly lower high was the most likely scenario. Increasing bull volume, which is almost always necessary to see your less likely scenario play out. That's what we got here. And we're in an area with a lack of resistance. We got a little dinker at 3 psychological, but then very little up until 536. And daily 12 EMA. Probably, this is, I would imagine we got 4-hour 12 EMA in the short term, then 12-hour, then daily. That's very often you'll see that one moves kind of like start to go parabolic. So not really the 4-hour 12 EMA. We're seshing around it, but that's not the ticket. We do have 12-hour 12 EMA, but in between, you know, got like 6-hour, 8-hour, whichever one you want to look at for that. So it's just going to be the EMA riders on these things. You know, bulls kind of cooling off here a little bit. You know, if we were to look at the BTC ratio chart for this, it's surely making a big move down, as most ratio charts are doing right now. Not really a big move down. I mean, it's coming down. It's got that relative weakness, but with Bitcoin dominance going up and Bitcoin going up, that tells us that it's the Bitcoin show. So, you know, ratio chart's not surprising to see them going down. But what's our structure here? We'll just watch the daily stair step. No, that popped yesterday. What are we going to watch? I mean, we can call that short-term support 230, but let's get a better look for it. Yeah, I think 6-hour 12 EMA. 6-hour 12 EMA. Once that's lost, we'll zoom out to the 12-hour 12 EMA. Once that's lost, we'll zoom out to the daily 12 EMA. Looking for back burners. Let's see where hourly oversold would be from here. That is not too far. The low current price is 225. So if bulls buy that up, they maintain tight control. If they don't, then we're looking down to the daily 12 EMA. And as long as daily 12 EMA has support, no weekly consolidation is shaping up. And once weekly consolidation shapes up, there's a ton of room for a weekly higher low. So reminder again, weekly consolidation will come again on all of these coins as it do. Charts go up, charts go down. Let's check back in on SHIB. So SHIB just absolutely beasting. What's our guide here? What's our guide here? It is the hourly 12 EMA. All right, we already talked about all this. So hourly 12 EMA. As long as that's holding, there's no 4-hour consolidation. 4-hour 12 EMA. As long as that's holding, there's no daily consolidation. Watching back burners. And as long as they keep hitting, gonna keep playing them. Hello, Sean. Good morning to you, wherever you're at. Having a great day, man. Hope the same for you. Let's see. Casey asking for a prediction for SHIB. I don't really make predictions. That's not my thing. But as far as what I'll be reacting to, it's going to be the same things that we just went to. You know, SHIB could go to new all-time highs, and I wouldn't be. I would actually be shocked if it went to new all-time highs. But I wouldn't be floored. You know, at this point, 142% more after we've just gone 300. You know, would it be Surprising, yes, but anything can happen in the crypto space. And that's something that, we've been talking about on these streams a lot, the power of walking stops, because things regularly go further than we anticipate in both directions in the crypto space. So no prediction from me. No prediction from me. We're at new all-time high RSI level. So I got no predictions. That ain't my thing. Ain't my thing. I'm a reactor. Let's see. I already talked about Doge too. Don't need to do that. Let's check in on our NDR. Kind of cooling off, maybe some daily that'd be weekly consolidation, perhaps looking to shape up. Bulls want to just stay sideways healthy at the highs here and then have the ratio chart catch a bounce, but we've been a little relatively weak here. We were relatively strong for a bit as we got up to new all-time highs, but no follow-through on those all-time highs at this point. So daily 12 EMA is going to be our guide, and bears would need to take out 682 to get some weekly consolidation underway, and we'd probably be watching 4-hour oversold. That would be right on the support break at this point. 4-hour oversold is 688. So, yeah, I mean, the most aggressive bulls are, I guess, looking for like a bottom fish or a bear break without follow through on that into 4-hour oversold conditions. Because just as we're talking about on Bitcoin, how if we get new all-time highs right now, it's not really the environment conducive for follow through because of how extended we are on many RSI levels. It's the same deal to the downside with support breaks. If you break that flush from last Wednesday low of 682 and you're in 4-hour oversold conditions, hourly oversold conditions, 15-minute oversold conditions, it's not an environment conducive for follow through. So that's what aggressive bulls are looking for. More patient. We're just going to wait for the next weekly 12 EMA test. We got a little relative weakness up here now, but is this a weak chart? Obviously not. It's just rotation. It got its move and now it's cooling off while other names get their moves and then they'll cool off while maybe the DEX names come back to life, which actually, speaking of that, CRV is got relative strength here today. Daily 12 EMA rider, part of our weekly lower high crew, going to right to higher highs on the increasing bull volume. It's the same stuff for so many of these names, and it's playing out successively where you can go do something on one name and then you cash out and then you go do the same thing on another name. You cash out, you go do the same thing on another name. And that's the beauty of one, a healthy bull market, because you see the rotation, it creates that opportunity. But two, mainly the crypto space, since everything is so correlated that you've only got a handful of different structures of charts out there. There's maybe like 5 or 6 different style structures here. You can group everything up into those categories and then you can just hit it and then quit it and go to the next one and hit it and quit it and just keep moving through. Crypto is beautiful for that. So CRV definitely getting a nice move up here. Next resistance is going to be 87.80. And that's that. Let's see what else y'all are looking at. So no problem, Terabyte. Basque, looking for Sol. Talk about Sol a little bit. We are not we don't have a lot of clarity up at the highs. Watching a 12-hour tightening range, high, low, lower high. Anything over 124.17 would be a higher low. If this range breaks bull, obviously bulls staying in full control. If it breaks bear, then we're looking down to daily 12 EMA, and daily 12 EMA would need to be lost to shape up more weekly consolidation. Bulls certainly want to see some more follow through after this weekly tightening range bull break, but we're coming up into some resistances. We've got 143.51, and that's about $8 away from the current highs. So cooling off. Let's look at Sol BTC. See if we got any clues. We know it's weaker than Sol USD, and Sol USD needs to see Sol BTC shape up a monthly higher low. We're certainly looking for a monthly higher low. Bulls were hoping this bounce was enough to shape it up, but that's quite similar to LTC BTC, where you got the nice bounce, but you got to get the trend change to get follow through, and we're now puking it all back. So that weekly lower high, I don't even know if we'll call it that since it's on an outside bar. We'll see which way this weekly candle breaks out of here, we get a weekly inside bar at this point, meaning we're within the range of the last weekly candle. If that breaks to the upside, I'll say weekly bounce is seeing some continuation. If it breaks to the downside, I mean, that'll be our first resistance, but I don't know if I would call it like a weekly downtrend or something. But what we need to see, to stop rambling about it, you need a weekly uptrend on Sol BTC to shape up a monthly higher low to bring relative strength back into Sol. So right now we remain relatively weak, and that just is what it is. All right. Let's see. Any knowledge on PLS? Let's see. I don't know what PLS is, but we can look at the chart for sure. The knowledge on PLS is that you've got Bitcoin testing all-time highs, you got a bunch of alts absolutely on a tear, and PLS is in black dirt breakdown, meaning all-time lows. So not great. Weekly bear flag confirmed, weekly downtrend. And honestly, I would encourage you to not even look at this name unless it gets over weekly 12 EMA. You know, something's effed up behind the scenes or under the hood, or however you want to word it. If you're in black dirt breakdown, the worst this coin has ever done when Bitcoin is looking like that, you know, something ain't right. So that's all there really is to say on PLS. You want to put yourself in situations where probabilities are favorable. So I guess I should clarify. If you're looking to short PLS, then you got the best name in the market for it. You got the best name in the market for it because you have relative weakness. It's the same thing we were talking about with the miners of like, you know, why are Dan and I shorting Riot? Because it's so weak. It's relatively weak. And if you have that tailwind, then your job is a lot easier. If you're trying to short the strong, it's tough. It's high risk, high reward. If you get it, then that's great because usually that relative strength shifts to relative weakness, but your odds of getting the trade off the ground are so much lower. So if you're trying to play this long, your odds of getting something to stick are so much lower compared to like buying any of these EMA riders that we have all over the place. So not to crap on your coin, but it's just it's showing red flags, unfortunately. And if you are looking to short, I'd probably be looking for a daily lower high off the 12 EMA. That rejected our last daily bounce and then right into lower lows. So that has potential to be our guide, but there's no clear established guide at this point of what to be looking to short. So bulls are not going anywhere if they don't get over 14 cents. All right. Let's see. Not going to look at SQ on this stream. 93 mischief. My bad, dude. I mean, it's crypto related, but not that crypto related. Not that crypto related. I guess, let me double check. Let me double check. Yeah, not that crypto related. All right. All right, yeah, let's look at 1 inch. I always forget when I'm doing 1 inch. I gotta type it in up here. 1 inch. So 1 inch, similar to CRV, getting the next leg up after the news we had a couple weeks ago. We know Uni did the best initially on that and is now kind of chilling, and we got the others playing catch up. So just going to be about the daily uptrend, daily 12 EMA. Anything over 51.13 going to be a daily higher low next time we consolidate. And we're coming into some resistances here. Got a handful of tops. Let's just get the old box and do something like that. Yeah, lots of tops in this area. So if bulls can get through, you know, the 70 cent area, it kind of opens things up a little bit up until the 90s. But just watch our daily uptrend and keep that as our guide. Let's look at the 4 hour. Not a lot of clarity here, huh? And 12 hours pretty much the same as the daily. Do we have anything? I guess we'll just stick with, maybe we got to zoom in. Yeah, no, man, no short-term clarity on this thing at this point. So we'll stay zoomed out. We'll stay zoomed out. Daily uptrend gonna be our guide, and that's that. Clarity is so important if you're an active trader. You know, if you're like a long-term holder or a swing trader, you know, you don't necessarily need like clarity. You need a guide that lets you know, is this healthy? Is this strong? Is this weak? And, you know, that can be a daily uptrend. But if you're an active trader, you need clarity. If you don't have clarity, your probabilities get skewed pretty significantly. So when we don't have clarity, the worst thing you can do is pretend you have clarity. So don't have clarity on the smaller time frame, so we'll stick with the daily. That's plenty clear. We'll stick with the weekly. That's plenty clear. Weekly stair step, part of our weekly lower high crew, the V-shaped to higher highs. You know, same thing, different coin. Same thing, different coin. Anthony Walker, if you go back to the beginning of the stream, we talk about the miners being down and why. I won't repeat all of that for the folks that were around because we'll be wrapping up the stream here sooner than later. But yeah, I think it was like maybe 10, 15 minutes into the stream. 10, 15 minutes into the stream. Let's see, is CRV part of that base crew terabyte? CRV USDT? Yeah, you could certainly say so. Part of it's little bit of a different structure to the basing. This one's kind of like SHIB, where it's not as clean of a box. I'm not saying CRV is going to pull a SHIB, but you know, clear basing. But is it like a Link super tight base pattern or a Jasmy super tight base pattern? No, not really. But is it definitely trying to base out off the lows and has been relatively weak and would love to catch a bid? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That fat finger was a 4,500 ETH buy on Coinbase. Yeah, that's always wild when people do that. It's like you got that much money and you just don't care that much about it. You know, that happened on when the ape airdrop came out. For like the first week, these whales who just had all of this ape that they didn't care about, they were just like marketing out. And on Coinbase, when you get those wicks, you can get filled on them. And all of my trading for like a week straight was just playing these wicks on ape and just putting limits down, getting filled on, instantly being back up, and then I would just market it out because it was more important to get my next limit in than worry about like the mini wick that I was creating, marketing it out. So I had my alerts set. You know, you can set these alerts where instead of crossing, you do moving down percent. And I don't know what I had. It was maybe like 2% on a 1 minute candle or something like that. This is time frame sensitive. So right now we're on the weekly. But if you wanted to set this, you would go to the 1 minute chart. You do that and then do it once per bar, and then that will just repeat. And anytime you get a 2% down in a 1 minute bar, it will alert you. And I carved my whole life around playing these ape wicks just because it was very clear there's whales who just got the airdrop. They don't give a crap about their slippage. They're just trying to cash out. And, you know, like a little, I'm brain farting on what you call them. It's a little fish that's you know, latch onto a whale's back. Like that's me here setting all these bids on ape, just riding it back up. And it was crazy. Felt unreal. Let's see. TK wants to know when Lambo. I don't know, man. Depends how you've been trading, sir. When Lambo for me? Probably never. I'm more of a Porsche 911 guy. All right. Let's see. Will miners turn around if BTC goes into weekly consolidation? I don't know. I think right now miners are positioned pretty poorly if Bitcoin goes into weekly consolidation. And this, if you go back to the last stream, we talked about how this is not a great look to break that resistance and pull right back. So we'll see what's up with the miners, but they, for now, just remain very weak. Very weak. If we look at Riot to take it even a step further. We looked at the December 28th top. You look at the July 10th top. You compare that to Bitcoin. July 10th here. It's just not a good look for these miners. Just not a good look. Got to call it how it is. You got the halvening coming up, which is, not great for miners either. So I hear. I'm not going to pretend to be a fundamental guy, but I hear a little bit here and there. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Sean gets it. Winning, I wouldn't say winning's easy, but it's easier than holding on to it. That's for sure. That is for sure. All right, yeah, let's look at ICP. See what that weekly tightening range is doing. High, low, lower high, and higher low still trying to shape up. Bulls, I'm assuming, trying to get the daily uptrend. Haven't even really consolidated on the daily yet. Popped it by a skosh, but need the clear higher low and higher high to get that weekly higher low set. And it's just going to be about this weekly tightening range. Bulls are hoping that that does the same thing that INJ did and Sol USD did. Weekly tightening range into bull break. So that's that is the ICP look. Let's see, we got a question. Are you on drug? Boy, I'm not on drug. I am, unless you call being high on life being on drugs, or being high on some good market action. It's exciting, man. I'd be interested to hear what part of my demeanor is giving off the on drugs vibe. Maybe, is it because I'm happy? I hope so. That'd be quite the compliment. All right, let's look at Algo. Algo USDT, part of our weekly lower high crew that went to higher highs, coming into some resistance at about 30 psychological and daily 12 EMA rider. So daily higher low set here at 22.06. And what do we got in the shorter term? I guess it's 4-hour 12 EMA rider as well. These wicks down, getting pulled back up. But we can be watching another one without a lot of great short-term clarity, huh? This 8-hour uptrend is pretty decent, but that's our daily higher low as well. So 22.06 key short-term support. Bulls in absolute full control as long as that is the case. 8-hour consolidation underway. Anything over that 22 would be a higher low. And if bulls want to get that shape down up, they got to regain an hourly uptrend. Got a little ginger hourly downtrend here at the moment. All right. I think we'll wrap it on up here. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's see. So we got another question here. Are you playing? I can't see it. They got this dang emoji thing on YouTube where it like blocks the bottom right of the chat. I can't see your final word there. Let's before we wrap up, we'll check back in on Bitcoin. So higher low set on the hourly. Didn't end up getting that hourly 12 EMA buy. That's all good. We're headed back up to the highs and all-time highs. Not far away. If we get to a new high of day, all-time highs are just over 2% away. I almost feel like we should stay on the stream, see if we pop it here. But we got Chart Guy stream cracking off here soon. Don't want to overlap with that. So just going to be about the hourly 12 EMA on Bitcoin. If that's holding, bulls in absolute control, then 4-hour 12 EMA, then daily, then weekly. It's all about the zoom out game. Look to see if ETH BTC can see follow through on that nice move we had. Already seeing no follow through on that. So we're still looking for the weekly higher low and weekly tightening range. And if that happens, ETH will gain some relative strength. It'll gain some relative strength. Bulls are hoping that, or are hoping that this is a daily bear flag confirmed without follow through. Was sure looking like it for a moment. That's why we said, it looks like it, but you got to get a daily bounce underway from there. You can't just call it a lack of follow through while that candle's still going. We can say it's currently lacking follow through, but from like the technical shifting of probabilities perspective, is it a lack of follow through? It isn't until you either get your smaller time frame, your smaller nested time frame uptrend confirmed, or you just get your daily bounce underway from there. So keeping an eye on that, not forgetting that could be dash to trash, but not fretting out of positions, not fighting the bulls, and all of that good stuff. I can't totally tell what your message says there. How do I even say your name? Llewellyn? I am trading Bitcoin. I'm trading Bitcoin. I trade on DYDX, and then I'm also using IBIT so I can throw my whole stock account at it. Let's see, we do got one more for Dorian. I missed your message in there. Thank you for the appreciation on the streams. Let's look at one of these. We'll do AVAX. Do we do AVAX? I don't think so. So AVAX part of, wait, no, we didn't do AVAX. I haven't looked at AVAX in a long time. Holy cow. Just realized how foreign this is by looking at the chart. So AVAX is going to be about the weekly uptrend, and this is kind of in a similar category to ICP, SOL, INJ. It's INJ stands out because of its proximity to all-time highs. But in terms of like our weekly tightening range, and bulls hoping that that's just healthy sideways consolidation and then get the next leg on up. So not a lot going on the past few weeks when you look around the space and see what everybody else is doing. Just kind of tightening up, and key resistance going to be this high, 49.96. We can just say 50 psychological. And as far as the smaller time frame stuff, we got a daily uptrend. That'll be the guide for this weekly move. We're consolidating on the daily at this point. Bulls holding 12 EMA. They hope that's another higher low to see another leg up and try to go up and test that 50 psychological resistance. And we're just tightening up sideways here. So again, not a lot of short-term clarity, so we're not going to force it. I'm going to force short-term clarity, but we can just kind of be viewing this as, a box of sorts, and knowing that nothing's really changing until that breaks. But really bigger picture, nothing's changing until this full range breaks. It's obviously quite the range. Let's look at AVAX BTC. See if we can look for some upside here, because it's clearly weak. Yeah, so we're looking for a monthly higher low, and this makes it even more similar to SOL here, where we've been relatively weak. Our ratio chart's consolidating, but it's got to turn up if you want AVAX to be one of the next coins to catch a bid and get some rotation. So we've got a weekly downtrend as our guide, weekly stair step, and daily downtrend, daily 12 EMA. And similar, a lot of these ratio charts saw the strong 3 days that Link saw, that SOL BTC saw, and then are just giving it all back. So got to get through 72.55 as step one on AVAX BTC to shift any momentum here. And as far as AVAX USD, as long as it's tightening up, it is tightening up. All right. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Hit those back burners, go to the Chart Guys website and type in back burner as 2 words in the website if you don't know what a back burner is. And we'll see what we get here. Exciting times. Don't get caught with your pants down, and don't get caught with no pants. And that's what we'll end it on. I don't know what that's all about. Farewell, everybody. I will see you next time. Probably gonna stream tomorrow. I mean, with all this action, I would anticipate streams every day this week or close to it. So if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. We got 155 people in here, 72 likes. If you can crank that up, we'd appreciate it. If you're not subscribed and you want to be in on the action, want the updates, we do these videos all the way through the bear markets when no one gives a crap about crypto. We're still doing them. And then, obviously all the way back up to all-time highs. We're here religiously because we love this stuff. We love this stuff. So, all right. See y'all next time. Have a good rest of your day. Adios.